Well, it's time for a week of meals. Just go ahead and get it started. So this is within a week of Thanksgiving. I took the turkey bones and I had them cooking on the stove. I strained it this morning. I removed all of the turkey meat that I found on those cooked bones. I have the broth on the stovetop heating up because we need to make the rest of the things that go in there. We're actually going to have turkey and vegetable soup. So from the freezer, I took about 1.5 to 2 cups of carrots and celery. That was frozen. I took a bag of peas. These are 12-ounce bags. Corn and green beans. So I have 1 large russet potato left. So I'm just going to peel that and dice it up. And I have about 5 onions left. I want to go ahead and get all that diced up and get that in the freezer, plus use some today. So come on in a little closer and let's get this started. So I'm going to go ahead and dice all of these onions. And whatever we don't use today, I'm just going to stick in Ziploc bags and put it in the freezer. And I have the onion scraps in my scrap bag. Keep that in the freezer until we need to make stock. All the onions have been chopped. I'm going to go ahead and peel and dice this 1 potato. I'm dicing them about 1/2 inch cubes. I think that'd be perfect for soup. And then the turkey that we got from boiling those bones to get a nice bone broth, I'm just going to chop this turkey up. And this is all the turkey that was still on the bones. It's mostly dark meat, but there is a little bit of white meat in here also, but that's okay. So I had this broth on the stove all day yesterday, had the bones in it, cooking for about maybe 8 to 12 hours. This morning I got up, I strained it from the big pieces, that's where we got the meat from, and then I strained it in a fine mesh strainer so it's just straight broth. Let's go ahead and put our turkey in here. The potatoes, carrots and celery, we'll put about 1 cup of onions, the vegetables come in a 12-ounce bag. I'm only going to add 1/2 bag or 6 ounces of each of these vegetables. I have 6 ounces of green beans, 6 ounces of peas, and 6 ounces of corn. And we're just going to let that cook. I have it on a medium-low. I ended up with 4 1-cup measure of chopped onions. And then I have the rest of the peas, green beans, and corn in another Ziploc bag. And now we're ready to make more soup. We need to taste this soup for salt and pepper. When I made the bone broth with the water, I did not add any salt or pepper. And then we added all the vegetables. Needs a lot of salt and pepper. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and check a potato. Oh yeah, perfect. That is good. I'm going to turn it down to a way low until we're ready to eat. So if you watched Tuesday's video, I'll put a link right there where we made some homemade butter. And from the buttermilk, we made biscuits and we put those in the freezer. I went ahead and cooked a batch of biscuits. They're in the oven. They've been in there for about 18 minutes. They still have a few more minutes. As soon as the biscuits are done, we can go ahead and have dinner. Turkey vegetable soup with biscuits is what we're having for dinner. The biscuits are done. They took 25 minutes. The soup is done. It's been cooking for about 3 hours. That's beautiful. Very brothy. And you could put rice in here and have turkey rice soup. You can add pasta and have turkey noodle soup. Or like us and just have turkey and vegetables. Let's grab a biscuit or two. Oh, the layers are beautiful. Very warm. Oh, it tastes so good. I love taking something that would have gone into the trash, like that, the bones of that turkey, and turn it into a whole nother meal, like a soup. It's so good. And our biscuits, I like dunking my biscuits in the broth. This is so good. It's perfect for a cold winter day. So that's what we're going to have for dinner today, probably tomorrow, possibly the next day. I'll bring you back when we're ready to make another meal together. So good. Family, it's 9:30 at night. I need to cook dinner. I have been baking cookies all day today. We need to get dinner started. We've been eating on that turkey vegetable soup for the last 3 days. We need something different. I took a pack of our pork chops that we cut up ourselves. It's got 4 chops in it out of the freezer. I have some tomatoes, some sweet peppers, a few zucchinis, and 1 sweet potato. That's what we're having for dinner. So I am going to dice this sweet potato because it would cook faster that way. So we're going to peel it and dice it. Probably about an inch cube. I have the oven preheating to 350 degrees. Some of these peppers have gone to the wayside. The tomatoes, I'm just going to cut into quarters. I'm going to drizzle some olive oil, some pepper, and some salt. I'm going to toss that, make sure that oil and salt and pepper gets all over every vegetable. Oops, get back on here. Got the large baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Oh, beautiful. I'm going to put this in the oven, let it get a 30-minute head start. And then we'll add the pork chops. I'm going to dry these pork chops. Perfect. I'm just using the same bowl we used for the vegetables. I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil. And yes, I washed my hands. Some salt. And some pepper. And my son, CJ, he loves the Renaissance Fair. And he picked me up this Iron Ladle Kitchen Bourbon Balsamic Vinegar. Family, it is so good. You can smell a little bourbon in it, but it's a lot of balsamic vinegar. I'm going to put about a tablespoon in here. Mix that in with the oil. Oh, wow, family, that smells so good. And I'm just going to let it sit right here until we're ready to put it in the oven with the vegetables. So I'm going to let the vegetables cook for 30 minutes because I think those potatoes, even though they're diced, they're still going to take about an hour. And then we'll put in the pork chops for the last 30 minutes. The vegetables have been in the oven for 30 minutes. Give them a little toss. The tomatoes are doing perfect. I do want to test the potatoes. All right, they're starting to soften. Perfect. Let's go ahead and put our pork chops on here. Put that juice right on top. Put the rest of it over here. Back in the oven for another 30 minutes. Oh, opening this oven door smells so good. We're going to take the temperature of the pork chop. Pork chops needs to be 145 degrees. I'm going to go in at it on the side without piercing, preferably. Let's try this big one right here. We are well over 150. Turn the oven off. I'm going to get a piece of pork chop and some of these roasted vegetables. Oh, family, that looks so good. Look how pretty that is. That's really good. The sweet potatoes are cooked perfect. I got some tomatoes, a pepper, and a zucchini. It is cooked perfect, seasoned, delicious. That's what we're going to have for dinner. We'll call the husband in here. We're going to sit down and have dinner. Can't wait to bring you back in the kitchen. And we'll make another delicious meal together. This is good. The last meal we're going to make this week is going to be a Grammy's version of Hamburger Helper. We're doing a chili mac. So I went in the pantry and I took a pint of red kidney beans. I need to strain and rinse those. A 4-ounce can of diced green chilies. 14.5-ounce can of diced tomatoes. My homemade chili season mix. I'll leave a recipe in the link below. And then I have 8 ounces of pasta. This is a corkscrew pasta. And I took a pound of ground turkey out of the freezer. It's thawed, mostly. I got the large cast iron skillet on the stove, heating up. I'm going to add the turkey into the hot skillet. You can use any kind of ground meat you like. Turkey is what I had. Easy access in the freezer. That's why we're using that. I'm going to brown that. And in the meantime, I'm going to get the kidney beans drained and rinsed. I'm not sure if this is showing up, but ground turkey, especially lean turkey, has a lot of water content right here. So I'm going to cook this until all that water evaporates. I could strain it, but I'd rather not strain the flavor. So I'm just going to let it cook until all the turkey meat is done. and all that liquid evaporates. I do have the burner in between high and medium, so it'll evaporate a little bit faster. Then once all that water content evaporates, you can go ahead and start building our dish. And this is a 1-pan dish. Everything is going to be cooked on the stovetop in this large cast iron skillet. All the liquid had evaporated. I turned it back to a closer to medium low. So I have our homemade chili season blend. I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons. And because there's no anti-caking ingredient in my season mix, I do have to break it up just a bit. We'll start with that. A can of diced tomatoes. Fill up the can with water because we are going to be cooking the pasta in this skillet, so we need additional water. A 4-ounce can of diced green chilies. This is home canned red kidney beans, but you can use store-bought canned if you like. Just make sure you drain and rinse them. And then this is a pint-sized jar, almost filled. It's probably about 1.5 cups of water. I think it needs a little bit more water to cook that pasta. All right, so I want to bring this to a boil. We'll taste it for seasoning. We haven't added no salt or pepper because that is also in the chili season blend. So we want to taste it before we add any salt and pepper. Let me bring this to a boil. It is hot. It's starting to simmer. Let's taste it. I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon of the chili season blend. It needs just a pinch of pepper and a good pinch of salt. Once it comes up to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to a very low, medium low. Add the pasta and let that cook. We need to keep track of the water level. Perfect. So there's still enough water to cook the noodles, but we're not making soup. The right amount of heat. All right, so we're starting to see a little bit of bubbling. 8 ounces of pasta, and I'm just using the little corkscrews. I'm going to turn it down to a very low, medium low. Make sure all the pasta is under the liquid. And that's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. And once the pasta is done and the liquid has evaporated, we're going to top it off with 3 ounces of shredded pepper jack cheese. Use any kind of cheese you like. I love pepper jack cheese. You can feed your family their favorite meals, like hamburger helper. make it homemade with real ingredients, and it's healthier. No, family, it is not going to taste like store-bought boxed hamburger helper. There's nothing you can do about it. You cannot mimic the artificial taste and ingredients they put in those boxed dishes. You can't mimic restaurant food, but you can turn what you like from the grocery store in those boxes or the restaurant, and you can make it yourself that's healthier, cost efficient also. Healthier is more important. And your family will like it. And eventually, they'll love it. Once you're at the state where you cook 99% of all your meals from scratch, if you have to go back and buy that box of hamburger helper or go to that fast food restaurant to grab something to eat because you really don't have time to cook, you'll realize it tastes bad. Please get in your kitchen, make real food with real ingredients. Stop relying on the grocery store boxed, ready to heat and eat dinners and fast food. Get in your kitchen and make real food. And about every 2 or 3 minutes, you want to come in here and make sure you're scraping the bottom of the pan, because you don't want that pasta sticking to it. And you need to check the liquid level. And you want to make sure that you keep the pasta under the liquid. See how it's thickening up? The starch from that pasta is thickening our sauce up. Beautiful. We probably have about 3 more minutes. And then we can add the cheese. Oh, and I need you to do me a favor. The dishes that are right here drying, ignore those. That's a later video. All right, let me taste the pasta. It's still a little bit raw on the center. I want them really soft. We're going to go a little bit past al dente. We're going to give it 2 minutes. This recipe is budget friendly. You can take a pound of meat and stretch it into a full meal by adding beans and pasta. Because beans have protein and pasta is filling. So this will serve 4 to 5 people very easily. I think we have 1 minute left. I'm going to turn it down on low, and we're going to add the pepper jack cheese right on top. And I'm just going to let that cook for another 2 minutes, and then dinner will be ready. It smells so good in here. And dinner is ready. Can you see how pretty that is? All the gooiness of the cheese and that sauce. Oh, it's beautiful. cheesy gooiness. And it doesn't matter how much it costs if it doesn't taste good. Family, that is really good. A little spicy with the chili seasoning mix and with those green chilies. If you don't like spicy food, leave the green chilies out. You can put in green peppers if you like, onions. You can do whatever you want to this dish. I just needed something quick and easy. Things that I could take out of the pantry and just throw it in here. Perfect. So that's what we had this week. I can't wait to bring you back into the kitchen and we'll make another delicious meal. The next video is going to be a good one. Please, if you don't mind, give this video a thumbs up. While you're at it, please subscribe. I would love to have you part of the Grammy family. So until the next time we get in the kitchen, have a blessed day. Bye, family. This was a good week. Oh, wrong one.